Hello, I'm Drissia, and today I would like to talk to you about our separate realities. Yes, we live in separate realities, and that can be very rich, very a source of creativity, very inspiring and interesting and colorful, but it can also be the source of lots of conflicts and misunderstandings and tensions between human beings. And what I mean by separate realities is that we do not only live in a different context, a different country, different jobs, different cities, different families, financial issues which are different from one person to the others, and so on and so forth. We are especially living in different realities and separate realities in our heads. There is not one single person, not in the world, not your closest friend, not your son, not your wife, not your colleague, not your best mate, who thinks like you, who sees the world like you, who filters the information like you, who connects dots like you, who brings information and translates it into action like you. And when we think of separate realities, we think of communities, for example, who are different, or groups of people who think different from us. But what we don't see is also in those groups of people, the individuals live in separate realities. We only have, from moment to moment, the impression that we are in the same reality. But that's not true, because it's not possible. We see the world through our own eyes, individually. Each of us has a different perception of the world, and when you go into a room, for example, you notice the flowers and somebody else will notice the pen, and a third person will notice the temperature, and a fourth person will not notice anything because this person will be busy only with herself or himself. We create the reality around us based on our filters, our inner stories, our past experiences, our way of seeing the world, and it is individual. Not only collective, not collective, it's an individual way of seeing the world. And there is no reality outside of us. There is something outside of what we see and perceive as human beings, but we will never know. Even when we try to search very professionally and do some research with numbers and proofs and everything, also that is part of a reality that we create as human beings. There is something out there that exists, but we are the ones who perceive it. And the reason why it's important to remember this is because when we forget about this, we get angry, we get anxious, we get impatient with people who are different from us. But actually, everybody is different from us, because everybody sees the world in a different way. And even you, even me, we can see the world in the morning differently than we see the world in the afternoon, because the way we see it is filtered through our moods, our attention, our concentration, the way our mind is working in the moment. So an invitation to you is, just when you meet another human being, be curious, interested, open, respectful of their world, because 100%, whether you like them or not, They live in a different world, like you live in a different world than they do. Your reality is different from theirs because the way you filter your world is different from theirs. An invitation to just compare notes, to communicate more and more with the people around you, and don't assume that they see the same thing as you do, even if they are very, very close to you, because they can't see the same things as you do. They live in a separate reality. And that's also the beauty and the richness of our human experience together with our fellow human being. Enjoy and see you next time.